Welcome to Oklahoma High School Girls Basketball Between the Lines with my man, Coach Vick. What's up, Coach?
What's going on, Tony?
Man, it's been a long time, Coach, since we did a show. I know you've been busy, I've been busy, but hey, we back on a Wednesday night. Back on a Wednesday night. Hot night, Coach. Got some big games coming up this weekend and next week. Big time tournament. We're in the grind, folks. We are in the grind right now. I think when we got Friday night, we'll take off to go up to El Rito. Go see Coach Douglas.
There you go.
The Indians. I think they're struggling right now, Coach. But hey, you got to go play the game, so you never know what's going to happen. So you got to go play the game. But Coach, big win for you last night against Bethel. I know you got a big one coming up this Friday night against McLeod. I was looking at the records earlier, doing my little homework. I think they're sitting at 12-0.
Yeah,
you got one loss yourself. So great. Good job. I mean, that's big time right there. You both in the top 10 in 4A, and like I said, I think it's led by no other than Lincoln Christian. A top-notch team. I think Locust Grove is sitting at number 2.
Yeah.
I think you still got Douglas sitting at 9-6. I think they still know top 5, top 10.
Yeah, they're top 5. I mean, I think part of that is the way people vote. You can look at the record, but we all know who they play, and so there's some things that are involved in the rankings. How you do the process. So I'm sure they're better than where they're ranked at. We all know that. But they're going to play some 4A schools come up pretty soon, maybe. So
No, I mean that's the thing about Douglas, man. I mean, they're always trying to get the biggest competition. They want to go play. When you got one of the top players in the state, that's what you go do. But like I said, I mean they got some losses, but a lot of those losses is from like out of state teams or
Right.
top notch teams in the state and in the nation. So like I said, Mrs. Wood, she likes to go out and play some of the big games, which ain't nothing wrong with that. She ain't gonna shy down from them. So which is nothing wrong with that. But like I said, Lincoln Christian got a couple losses this year. They've lost 2, but
Right.
they went off, and I got a chance to go catch them in their tournament. I got a chance to see Maddie Hill versus Maddie Stewart, 2 young ladies that's both highly recruited. One's going to Nebraska, one that has an offer to Tulsa. So Maddie Stewart got the best of Maddie Hill last Saturday night in the game. But I tell you right now, I was like, man, Friday night I watched Lincoln Christian against Jinx. I was like, I called Coach, man, they all right. Shoot. Came back Saturday, whole different ball club, Coach. Whole different ball club. So gotta give Lincoln Christian why. I mean, Coach Coach Stewart, that's what she does a good job. I mean, her bench is deep. I mean, the Willoughby young lady, I just saw her. Congratulations to her. I think she's gonna play with Legends this summer, but got a chance to see her play in person. Good sized young lady, man. Daddy got a lot of size, so she still got a lot of growing. She's just a sophomore. Kind of play the post and kind of play the outside, shot the ball good outside, rebounded really well. So even though they're going to lose, a young lady going off Nebraska, they still got a lot coming back. You got one of the top freshmen on the team that barely plays and, telling what they else got coming in. But they're always going to be a good ball club at Lincoln Christian, man, just a good environment basketball program. So when that's what happens, kind of like Carl Albert in football, when you're good, people want to come there. They're not beat down the doors to go to some of these other schools, but Lincoln Christian is a school that, if you're good, they're going to come. So, like I said, congratulations to them winning their tournament, though. Like I said, I thought Owasso has played great ball. He got a big-time win the week before with Union. That's a big-time signature win, especially with district play and all that. But they won some games, but, they just ran into a team that's in 4A. I know people talk all the time, 6A, man, 6A. And I'm just telling you, it don't matter. 6A, 5A, 3A, 2A. If you got the players, guess what? You're going to win ball games. So that's just how it is. I mean, it's how Dale is 15-1. I think they got one of the best records in the state of Oklahoma in high school girls basketball, sitting at 15-1. I think they just won another tournament. Last
week. They won Kingston tournament.
Yeah, Skylar just sent me some video of her stats. So that's good that she's getting out there on social media. The young lady from Bishop McGinnis, folks, is telling you. I mean, I love it when these girls can reach out to us and send us their stats and tell us, how they appreciate the show and all that. I feel like Maddie Hill's become like one of my daughters. I mean, I didn't get a chance to see her at the game and talk to her, but Dad recognized me, knew I was in the house. My daughter wanted to go watch that matchup, and did I really want to drive to Tulsa? But I'm glad I did. It was a good time. Coach, I'm about to start giving you some feedback. You got to give me like a popcorn, little show. Because, man, I've been eating some good popcorn, Coach. And I got to start giving you some good feedback on some popcorn. Crystal.
I had some good popcorn last night at Bethel. Bethel was good on the popcorn.
Oh, they was good on the popcorn?
Yeah, they were good on the popcorn.
Who did I have the other night? I had Noble popcorn last night. And when it was hot, it was good. Then it got kind of but it was good. Yeah. Chicken Shay's still my number one popcorn. I got to give them love. Chicken Shay's really good. The other night, eating over at Lincoln Christian, you rich folks, I don't know what kind of butter you use or salt, but it was a little bit too salty for TJ. A little too salty.
Too salty. Well, you got to watch your blood pressure,
Yes, Coach.
Watch your blood pressure.
I didn't beep. But like I said, though, but Chicken Shay's still number one when it comes to popcorn. Carl Arbor's not too bad. I'm not saying it because I'm being a homer, but Carl Arbor's popcorn is pretty good itself. So my man Craig is, man, me and him are popcorn critics. So every time we go to a gym, we try to get popcorn. And so just in case I get to another podcast, I might become the popcorn podcaster.
Nope. But had a good dog last night, too. A good dog at Bethel.
Good dog? Well, Coach, man, let's talk about basketball. No, we're talking popcorn and dogs, but, hey, I know there's a lot of people that want to get caught up on some great games last night. We talked about the top 10. We didn't get a chance to get to everybody Monday night. I know Coach got so much going on. Coach, he took a tough loss over the weekend against Chickasha, a team that's in his district, but, 4 or 5 point loss, man. I mean, I know we talk about everybody hates to lose, but sometimes it's okay to lose. You learn from your mistakes, and then it gets you better. I think this team I think Hara Panthers will punch their ticket and be in a state tournament this year. They have a good chance to win it. Yes, as anybody else that gets in, the top 8 that gets in, they're going to have a chance. But I think Coach got enough senior crew, girls that can shoot the ball. They're shooting ball, making layups. They're hard to beat, and I told him the other night when, against Lincoln Christian have a hard time now. If the balls are going to the net, it could be a tough night for Lincoln Christian. But, if they're bouncing, Lincoln Christian had the edge because they got a little bit of size and get up and down. That's what happens when you have a D1 player. But like I said, Willoughby girls, a young, good little player. And then they got some other players. They got about 5 or 6 girls that can go, and you're not even going into the bench. So I don't think they play a lot of freshmen. A lot of teams playing the freshmen, but I don't think Lincoln Christian is playing a lot of freshmen right now. I know that Louie, I know she gets in a little bit, but I didn't see her name called a lot over Friday night and Saturday night. I was in the gym.
Well, I got to give a shout out to my squad. Our leading scorer did not have a game last night. And her teammates stepped through and got a road win on the road against a ranked team. Bethel and Harrah's a rivalry, so it's kind of like, OU, OSU, throw the records out, it's a rivalry.
Yes, sir.
And, but it's not an easy place to win. They got a good shooter and Ava Gascon that's going to, going to go to Cameron. And then they got another player, Lexi Tucker, that can shoot the ball really well, probably about 5'11", 6 foot, that I think is unsigned.
Tucker's a good ball player. I know Daddy real well, Timmy Tucker. Mm-hmm. Just a very athletic family. Sister's going to go play softball at Tulsa. So, good ball player, Coach.
So, so that was a tough team. And then, I think we talked about our top 10 that we posted. How about Katie Bass and them getting a dub
over Choctaw?
Yeah.
Coach, I was wondering that. I was going to ask you. I know we ain't got a chance to talk. I was busy there at work, using me and you talk for a couple hours and pregame for the show, but I was wondering about Curry. I saw Curry in street clothes in the tournament last week and reached out to moms, never texted back. So I know that was a good sign of bad time. But just kind of saw her in street clothes. I know she's fought the injury bug. So I didn't know if she was hurt again or not. But like I said, seeing her in street clothes, and then didn't score a lot of points in the game the other night against Mustang. So, you look at a senior guard that's come back from ACL tear, and that can help the Choctaw. I mean, had a really good summer and it's had a pretty good season so far. Like I said, didn't know she's banged up. I know she had hurt her nose a couple months ago, and then it kind of kept her out a couple of games. But it sucks to see that she's always kind of injury prone.
Yeah.
So, but I did see her in street clothes, so I didn't know if that kind of hurt them a little bit last night, not having her.
Well, that sets up that big game of Mustang and Westmore. When they first played, Maya was still out, just coming back.
Yes.
So that's a huge game, and that gives Choctaw one loss in conference or district. Mustang has one loss, and then obviously Westmore is sitting there undefeated. So, that game becomes that head-to-head game now. When they play Westmore, so that makes that game a lot better. As far as the deal, and I'm gonna go ahead because we talk about it a lot. Is UConn got to win on Norman, which is again, those things are position games now. You're not going to be in the first place, but you sure want to try to position yourself to be in the top four. So that was a good win, I thought, against the Norman squad. And there's some tournaments that were out there that were good. It's funny. There's some things that are shaking that are going on, and people are moving up and down the ladder.
No, I know one of the teams I know in 5A is getting a lot of pub is Glenpool and Midwest City. Everybody, look at what Midwest City did last year. Didn't make it to the playoffs. Got a good chance this year to make it. Is doing a great job with a couple of freshmen kind of leading the way for him with Brooklyn and Adriana Waters, nicknamed Riri, and then her sister. I thought Sadie Johnson had a good game the other night against Fort Gibson and shot the ball real well. I think she had 4 or 5 threes, but right now, they're in a good territory. But a good matchup next week, Coach, will be UConn versus Midwest City. That'd be a good matchup. Can 2 point guards that win at each other. They were his own teammates in the middle school. Now they'll be going against each other next Thursday night. But be a good game to tune in and watch. But I'm looking forward to that. But then here a week later from that, you had the big matchup. If Carl Albert can stay undefeated and Midwest City both can stay undefeated in district, they'll meet up on January the 30th.
Nice.
6 o'clock at Carl Albert. I'm pretty sure the popcorn's gonna be popping. The camera's gonna be out. It'll be a top game that pretty sure you might catch Sam at that game. Shout out to Sam. Sam's everywhere, man. I don't know. I don't know how he does it because he's always by himself. So I don't know if he got some car that drives itself or what, but shout out to him because I'm telling you, that guy's everywhere. But like I said, there's a lot of you're talking about, setting yourself up for good games. It's funny because I went to go look for the 5A 6A. You tell me this all the time. They're totally different from the 2, the 3, and the 4. I'm looking for where they ranked at. There's no ranking on them because it's all district. And so
all district now.
Yeah.
I'm looking at 5A. We talk Bishop, so that moves them up a game now. That was the first place. That was for first place in that district. You're talking about the next district was, Midwest City. Midwest City, Carl Albert. That's going to be set up, like I said, January 30th for first place. And then you talk about Booker T. Booker T got a win over Shawnee. That was a first place game that moves Booker T a game or half game, however you want to put it. And then Glenpool played Durant. So there was a lot of 1-2 matchups, in 5A, all but one, and that's Carl Albert Midwest City, which will come January 30th. But the win over El Reno and others kind of separated themselves. So those two are, it's going to be head to head, or it's going to be points. Something's going to happen.
Well, Coach, wait a minute. I'm going to have to hold you real quick. I team a team that you got to watch out for. I know they lost a couple of games earlier, but you got to watch out for Guyman. I think Guyman kind of got the legs on them right now in the 5A. That's a team that can go knock some people off. Carver have to travel to Guyman. I know Guyman got to come to Midwest City, but Guyman just knocked off El Reno about 20 points, and so they're winning some ball games. So don't count them out of that district, especially beating El Reno. Anytime you can knock off El Reno, I know Coach Douglas over there, she's not having her best year, but one thing about her, she's not going to quit. She's not going to throw in the towel. We got to go play them this Friday night. No one can just say, oh, they beat them. No, I don't care. Yeah. You still got to go play in El Reno. It ain't a place. I tell my daughter right now, be her first time stepping on that floor in El Reno. They going to bring the crowd. It's a Friday night. Ain't nothing to do. They going to be out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They want to knock off the Titans. It's a better way to get yourself back in district, knocking off the Titans. You know what I'm saying? To get yourself back in district, they put you in a good shape. Now, Midwest City knocks them off. Now they got 2 losses. Now we talking. So you got to go take care of business this Friday night. Right. Big game here. You got a big game coming 4A. You got Heron versus McLeod. I think that's going to be a tough game, Coach. I know that's you coaching it, but I think that's going to be a tough one. But the good thing about it, you got them at your house, though. That's good.
Yeah.
I think if you was going to McLeod on a Friday night, sitting there what they sitting at, I mean, it'd be a little bit tougher. But, hey, the girls got to realize this is a tough game. This is a game you already let one slip away from you. This is a game you got to get right here. You got to get this game.
This is probably the winner of this wins the conference, so there's a little bit more there to it. Nothing against the other teams, but when you talk about two highest ranked teams, North Rock Creek is ranked. We beat Bethel, who's ranked. And so, we'll have North Rock Creek next Tuesday. For 4A, the next 2 weeks, every coach is, on tight. And then after that, after the last rankings go in, then we're kind of like how you guys are non-district games now.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to figure out, okay, your rankings are in. Now you're playing for some pride, playing for your record, and also playing to figure out how can you get better in playoffs. So 2 more weeks, and some 4A coaches could probably sleep a little bit at night now.
Yeah, Coach,
but how about, huh?
Go ahead. What was you gonna say?
No, I mean, so that's kind of where we're at. I think January the 26th, I think, is the last rankings that go in, and your playoffs go off that. So a lot of 4A coaches are watching film left and right, myself included. And then after January the 27th, and that last ranking comes out, we could breathe a little bit, and you kind of start figuring out where you might be.
Yes, sir. I mean, that's true right there, man. Like I said, you got a big time matchup coming up pretty soon. You have Westmore and Mustang that battle again.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, tough loss for Choctaw. It's sitting really good in district, but that's a tough loss. So, man, I mean, a team that I think is playing pretty good ball. They just won the McAllister tournament. It's Booker T. Washington, not Booker T, but Muskogee. Beat Booker T. Washington in the finals, but 2 great teams, 2 great athletic teams. But I think Coach Holmes is starting to turn around. They're starting to score some points. So you can't count them out in 6A. PC North took PC North to a double overtime, so you can't count those guys out. Yeah. But I'll tell you right now, if your coaches like Roy and some of these coaches kind of on that bubble, you don't want to play. You don't want to have to play a Mustang or a Edmond North to get in the tournament because that's a tough, because if you lose one, you out. So right now, I know UConn is trying to do everything they can to get those wins. Like it's a good win the other night against Norman. I think they ended up getting about 15. So that's a good night, and I think they got them at Norman too. So it makes it even better though when you can beat somebody at their house. So you always want to protect that home field court.
Well, congratulations to Coach Crawford over at Piedmont. They've done what they needed to do to move up the ladder coming out of that Mustang tournament. They had to get some wins together, and they've done that. They put some wins together and moved themselves up a little bit in a better positioning in that district. And I also want to say, hey, congratulations to Kamaya Morgan, and how about Sasha? MVP of the Barnesville.
Yes. Hey, man. Go ahead, Coach. They playing great ball right now. I think
exactly.
All thing I would ask, I asked Miss Bree. She's coach at Dale C. She's one of Mid-Dale administration. I always love to call and talk basketball with her. But I'm just gonna ask you, Coach, because people talk about peaking too soon. Does it scare you a little bit if you're Coach White and this is your team? Are you scared a little bit they might be peaking too soon, or hey, let's just go with the flow and let's just roll? Well, and keep it 100 here now on that question.
You got a position to win first, and you're sitting there and you are I believe a game behind because of Newcastle. I mean, you want to peak, you want to get that 1-2 spot, and then you worry about it later. I mean, peaking early to me is peaking like before Christmas. Yeah. Now in January, the games are so fast. I mean, you have less practice. About now's the time you want to peak. I mean, you got your last 10, 15 games. To me, you want to be peaking. People understanding their roles. Maybe the role players now have been defined. You're tweaking your offense because everybody's got film on you, but you're not going to scrap it. But you're going to tweak it a little bit, throw a little adjustment here or there. That's what we did today. We threw a little adjustment on some of the plays that we run and tweak it a little bit because everybody's got film. So we're going to do this, little twist here, little twist there. And I think you want your shooters to shoot well, and you definitely want to have some momentum going into the playoffs. I mean, nothing wrong with running 10 off in a row before you get to playoffs. That's just kind of how it is to me. Now, I think a lot of people, what happens is when they understand where they're at, and start knowing who they're going to play. Then you're going to see them start, kind of throwing it very vanilla. I'll never forget my first year at Deer Creek as assistant coach Tucker. We were playing in the dark of the year we won state, and we ran nothing after the playoffs came out. I mean, we were running one zone, one man, and one. And as soon as state came out, we busted out our 3-1-3-1. Hadn't shown it all year. He'd been saving it all year for that. That's what coaches do. I mean, because everybody's got 30.
I like that. I want to give a shout out real quick. We went and played a tough game over Noble. And when you are one of the top teams in district, you're gonna get everybody's good game. I thought last night we played 5-on-8. Nothing. I mean, I'm not a guy that's like to bash a ref. Because I know what there's a shortage of refs. But sometimes and I told my wife sometimes you know what home cooking means. And I think sometimes you got to play the home cooking. But hey, I think those are games that build you for a champion. If you got to go through the adversity that hey, you might not get every call, you might not get every shot, but I thought last night overall as a team, I thought they played really, really good. I thought the girls played as Audrey was a leading scorer, but everybody else chipped in. I think that's what you're going to need when you play at Midway City, when you play a Del City, when you play at Bishop McGinnis, when you play a Newcastle. Like I said, Glenpool's a team. We'll get to see a chance to see Booker T because Booker T's in our tournament next week, so you get to see them up close. Edison Prep. So you'll get to see some of those teams. But I think right now, when you're starting to do the things, you're doing. I mean, you talked about it like coaches making adjustments, second half adjustment. Now people got film on you. Now you got to start changing things around. I think Richie got a game plan that he's going to put together. I thought last night, I really do. I thought the girls played, even though they're on the road and they had some adversity calls, but I thought they played really, really good together. I thought it was more of a team ball. Girls knocked down some big shots when they had to. So I like that, and that's what you need, though. You need when the Kenny Sutton can knock down that three. I thought Brinley Crawford had a pretty good game, coming off the bench, some good rebounds, some good shots. I thought our little point guard and Hayden Hurl had a hell of a game, knocked down some good shots, good defense. I think Zoe had a really good game, not a ton of points, but, which gives you 8 points. I think she had 8 points, 6 rebounds, and, 5 assists and 2 steals. To me, that's a good night, especially for a freshman. A good night. She did have one big turnover. Coach said, wait a minute. Coach Rich said, Fresh, come see me real quick. Come see me, Fresh. Hey, but Coach, that's all right. I like that, though. You got to have those kind of things. Hey, clear your head, get back in the game, and guess what? Don't make the same mistakes. And she did. But so I'm all with that, though, being, I mean, that's the thing about it, man. You got to coach hard. I love a coach that coach hard. I know some parents don't like that. But, man, I love a coach that coach hard because when you get in college, they go coach hard. If not, they're going to say, hey, you know what? Don't worry about it. Hey, that next Greyhound bus, I know we flew you in first class, but you taking Greyhound home. You taking the Greyhound home, Coach. You taking the Greyhound bus home.
Yeah. And I seen that. I'll never forget, my year as assistant at UCL, we started with 19 guys, and we played Charleston State with 6. So, two of those dudes went home.
Well, they sent them home. They sent them home. Okay, where you go, but you got to go.
Yeah.
Okay, where you go, but you got to go. Like I said, Coach, you guys got a tough. You got one more tournament next week, and you're gonna be playing with which one? You in the Kingfisher?
Yeah, our possible schedule the next week we got McLeod at number 5, we got North Rock Creek at number 10. Take care of business. First game of the tournament. We're going to have Weatherford, who's at sitting number 14. And if we could get by that, we'll have Kingfisher sitting at number 9 or 8 or 9. So we've got 4 out of 5 or whatever against ranked teams.
Hey,
so
you talked about it. You talked about the January grind, man. I mean, it's tough. I mean, I think you got El Reno. I think you got El Reno this Friday night. And after El Reno, you'll take on Southeast and you go into your tournament. With some good teams in it. So, and then after that, you got Guyman. You got to go to Guyman. By the time you get by Guyman, you leave on Tuesday, you get back on Thursday. Then you got to turn around and play Midway City on Friday. So
you got jet lag. You got jet lag.
You jet lag. You jet lag. You flying in. So you better get your rest while you can. So like I said, it's getting tough. The Shawnee tournament. It's a kind of good one. You got
good tournament.
You got Union in there. You got, like I said, the big matchup I'll be looking forward to seeing is UConn. With knowing kids on both sides and played together, AU ball and high school, junior high ball. So that'd be a good one to keep your eye on. But like I said, there's a lot going on, man. I'll tell you that grind is tough. You're gonna find out who's in good shape, because if you ain't in good shape, you can slip up and lose a game that you shouldn't lose, and that can kind of hurt you and put you in a position that you might not make the state tournament.
Yeah. Well, luckily, like I said last night, we got some kids that are playing well. Sailor, Eaton, Allison, Paisley's done a good job at point guard. Brooks done a good job. So, we have a good 7. I got young ladies that have had hip surgery. A young lady's got a bad hip, but you know what? They're gamers and they're going to get on a 50-50 ball on the floor. So they know what's they know what's at stake. They know what's at stake. I mean, and so we're ready, prepared, and I know Coach does a good job at McLeod, so she's going to have her kids ready. So, hopefully it's a good game. We're going to make her do what we got to do. I mean, but we talk about controlling ourselves. That's why we set the schedule the way we did. You want to be top 10, and you got to beat one above you and the ones below you. So that's kind of where we're sitting at coming up this next 2 weeks.
No, that's what you got to be at. It's where you got to be at. Rick, I know this is girls basketball, but I got to give a big shout out to my son, Gabe Anthony Johnson, who got his 100th win. On Saturday. As a parent, I was kind of sad, just didn't get a chance to make it because I was with the GOAT. The GOAT, come here, GOAT. She give me, hey, come here real quick. She's not giving me no love. She gets mad when I mention her brother, but that's how I love it. I love when my kids get mad. They get jealous. I got a 28-year-old daughter, and she'll get mad. Why is Zoe on your phone picture? You're covering not me. But real talk, though. Big shout out to him, though, man. I know he was kind of down for a couple weeks. His body had shut down a little bit. He took a couple weeks off, get himself back, but I thought he wrestled really well. I know he's on the grind right now. He got a home match this coming Friday. And it's sad, Coach, because when we counted down that he was gonna get his 100 this Friday night, and so we was all gonna be able to be there. But he got it Saturday, but which is good though. He got it in the team national duels. UCO came home with the Division II national duels, big time tournament that kind of get you ready for the big tournament. So that's big for them though. Coach Diley and Coach Shittlewood and those guys do a great job, and all those assistant coaches do a great job. But like I said, super proud of him though, getting his 100th win. I mean, that's a big time accomplishment. I don't care what division you in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a big time accomplishment. That's a lot of wins, a lot of body, a lot of wrestling going on in them years he's wrestled. But like I said, we got one more we want to get, actually 2 more. We want to get another team national, and hopefully he can get his 3rd national and sell off into the sunset. So, but congratulations to him and, like I said, the UCO Broncos. But like I said, I mean, I had a tough decision to make, Coach, and I'm gonna let you listeners do. Coach, I want you to put a poll up on this one. If Gabe's going for his 3rd national championship, do I go to Gabe? Or if Zoe's going for her 1st state championship in basketball, do I go to Zoe?
It's on the same Saturday?
Same Saturday, Coach.
Man. Where's the Nationals at?
Nationals in South Dakota.
You can't make that drive.
Can't make that trip, Coach. It ain't in Dallas. It ain't in Dallas, Coach. I wish it was, but it's not in Dallas. It is probably going to be snow on the ground. You talking about South Dakota.
Well, I'm going to say you live with one and you don't live with the other one, so there's a deciding factor there.
What is that?
Gabe,
what is that telling me, Coach? What is that?
I'm just saying, Gabe don't live with you, Zoe does. So, yeah, I'm just saying.
You said I got to see Zoe every night.
I'm just saying that's a rough house if if you're not there.
Zoe told me to go with her. Gabe told me to go with her, and he said, "Dad, there's nothing cool than you winning your state championship." Now, I know my baby got 4 years, but if you get there, you never know. You might not ever get back. I'm just keeping it 100, Coach. Well, even though I'm just saying, how hard it is to get to the championship.
Well, Gabe's got 2, so
yeah.
I think you're all right there. I think you're all right there. So I'm gonna just say you better go, and you better go with who you live with.
Okay. Get
that. You might get the evil eye.
Yeah.
Pink eye, whatever eye you get every morning.
I love it. Well, Coach, anything else before we close out? I know we got some big games coming up this Friday night. Like I said, we might jump on tomorrow, but I know we want to get on there and recap some things. But like I said, I missed the show. I know we did a show from Crest grocery store, and Coach was in he was in his hotel and I was at Crest, but did pretty good. We got 50-some views. I like that though. I know we was kind of under under the water. The mic wasn't really great, but you know what? I really appreciate whoever did listen in. We do like you guys tuning in. But like I said, we're always going to try to bring you. I know we've been off a couple of days, but we'll get back to doing it. Like I said, you know, like Coach talked about the January grind, man. That's a lot
you
of
send
work
me
on us
January
too.
27th. January 20, until then, I'm watching them about videos and film.
Hey, Coach didn't even talk to me on Sunday, folks. I'm texting him, and I'm like, he's like, man, I'm eating lunch and I'm watching film. I'm eating lunch and I'm watching film. I said, okay, Coach.
I've got players lined up, DMing me, lining me up. I've got 2 kids I need to get on for comeback kids, and I've got the Frosh. I got 2 or 3 kids for the Frosh, and
yeah, we got the young lady from Dale that we need to get on, and we still need
I just hadn't. Man, I'm like, I can't. You know, between film editing and scouting and everything else,
it's a grind. I mean, I got a big time audit coming up, so
please be patient. Please be patient.
Yeah. Like I said, we got you guys, man. We will be doing a show from Dick Sporting Good, a road to the state championship. We'll be doing that again. You know, we'll probably get some teams and some coaches come out and talk to us. So we'll be prepared to do that. Like I said, we haven't set a date. I think we kind of got a date, but we just got to figure out. I think we're kind of waiting on what 5A, 6A, what they're going to do. Like I said, we will have some teams come out and, like I said, maybe have a coach and a couple players come out like we did beginning of the year. But you know, if you get invited to that, please come out and join us, man. It's a good atmosphere, and you get to hang out at Dick's Sporting Good, House of Sports there here in Edmond. And so it'll be a good time, though. Like I said, if your team get invited, I mean, please take the opportunity to come and talk to us on the show, because, like I said, I know there's a lot of other talk shows out there, but I really think we bring it real. You know, I think we do some good things about it. You know, talk about the young ladies that's out there that's getting a job done. You know, we're not just talking about Joe Boo and Hootie Hoo and the Blowfishes.
You know, here's the deal. I want to put a poll out there. I want DMs and comments. What should the name of the new house be? I can't go new house.
Yes.
There's old house. You can't be going new house. So what's it going to be called? You know, I mean, what is that title going to be given that name? And we're not going to call it the whatever, OG&E or ONG or, I mean,
I'm going to call it OG&E Electric House, Coach.
Well, should get in from my electric bill. I'm getting gas. I should get in. I should get a discount.
Should get in free. Should have to worry about paying.
Show my electric. Show my bill and get in. Huh?
Well, Coach, I got another poll question. Since we're about to change the name to us, what should our new name be? Since we're not going to be, we're not. You know, we don't just want to be Oklahoma. We want to cover everybody. So if you guys got if you can drop us a little DM and say, what should the new name be for this team, this show? You know, I mean, we're not going to be Oklahoma High School Girls Between Lines, because we're not going to just be covering Oklahoma. We're going to be covering all the states. So if you got a good name for us, let us know. And a good little logo, let us know. Like I said, we would like to get that out and do our things. But like I said, pretty cool. Well, Coach, anything else before we get out of here?
No, back to the film.
Back to the film. Like I said, I got to get it edited and, you know, get ready for tomorrow's Thursday. I think next week we're going to be both busy, you know, with the tournaments, but I think it's pretty cool. I took Friday off, so I really think since the tournament's going to be at Carl Albert, I might try to do some live sections. I will interview.
What's that hospitality room for the Titans? Let people know what's that hospitality room going to be like for the Titans?
Well, it's going to be pretty good. You know, you got anything with Misty Crawford and Miss Price got anything to do with it? I think they're going to have some stuff catered in. So you're talking about two sophisticated ladies. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be Mustang or hair. But they're gonna push for it. But real shout out on the Titan Classic. Want to give a big shout out to Confident Chevrolet. They're the main sponsor of the tournament. We're gonna have probably a Corvette in the main lobby. Have it in the lobby. We're gonna have 2 trucks on the side. But like to big shout out to those guys taking on the tournament. I think the coaches' gifts is gonna be set up pretty good by BSN and Triple Elite. I don't know if it's both, but I mean, big sponsor for us, BSN. I know Chris, anything with Chris Crawford, you're gonna have nice shoes, bags, and all the stuff you need. So it's gonna be set up good. I mean, I know Coach, Coach Mike Dunn, AD, is really excited about it. He's gonna push it. We're gonna do a kind of documentary of the show, of the tournament, you know, all through the tournament, you know, with our guy Carson, Rose Rock, that does all our filming, and then Abney. You know, if people don't know Abney, he's one of the best.
Does great work.
I mean, great work, man. I mean, his videos are on point, and you get them back in the day. So I do like that. But you're talking about, I know Coach wanted them, but I know he'll probably be up in El Reno with us this week. But he does really, really great work. He does a lot of our girl stuff. Rose Rock does boys and girls, but they're both are great guys. But I think Roserock is tied in with Carl Albert, so that's why he do a lot of their stuff. But get a chance, come out, catch some great basketball next Thursday. I think we played a 7:00 game, and our boys, shout out to them, winning the Lincoln Christian over at Edison Prep. Boys are playing really good ball. If you haven't got a chance to see Carl Albert's boys, they got some of the top players in the state. Gibson Johnson's just a freshman. Coach got a chance to see him go off the night he hit 10 threes. I tell you, it's been different for Gibson, since he's hit those 10 threes. He's had everything thrown him but the kitchen sink. But, but still playing great ball as a freshman. They got another freshman in Jack Wilkerson, the son of Jimmy Wilkerson. Outstanding, 6'7", 6'8", power forward center. But, he's already got 5 or 6 offers in football. But great job. I mean, they got a nice little team, Austin Johnson, Elijah Matthews, and, one of the kids I really like a lot is the Hopgood kid. Hopkins, I think Hopgood, number 3, really good player in Brandon Taylor. So they got some players over there. Don't be surprised if this team sneaks in the state and do some damage. I know people talk about Booker T, but Booker T will be in that tournament, so you get a chance to see them go. But them knocking off Edison Prep, and Edison Prep knocked off East Central. So boys 5A's tough. I know we don't talk a lot of boys on this show, but there's a lot of good teams out there. I know Newcastle got beat the other night by Northwest Class, and Northwest Class is one of those teams you got to watch out for on the boys' side. So we can talk boys too, but our main fakers is these beautiful young ladies. So like I said, good luck to all these teams coming up this Friday night. We'll touch base with you guys before the end, but like I said, Coach, congratulations on the big win with you last night over Bethel. I know that kind of put you in the driver's seat. So, like I said, there were some teams that got beat off. I know Shawnee got knocked off by Booker T, but Shawnee's going to be a team that's going to be okay. Glenpool, I'm keeping my eye on Glenpool. They had a girl that hit 42, and I know I'm going quick. Hayden Mayfield from Calumet, I think she had 51, got a chance to be on Channel 5. What team was that? Gary,
yeah.
Gary, whatever they are. I think they're known for wrestling. I don't know if they're known for basketball. But anytime you can give up 51 points, Coach, Coach Richie, you might set up a scrimmage with those team. You might do the game. My baby might be able to get 61, but no. But Hayden's a great girl. But so congratulations to her and her team. But Coach, I'm gonna get us out of here. I'm gonna keep talking. Keep talking. But folks, you know what to do. You get the bob of that. Like, subscribe. We picked up a couple of subscribers last week, but we need you to like and subscribe on Oklahoma High School Girls Basketball. Because, hey, like I said, we're going to change the name. We're getting hot thick right now. And young ladies, don't think we forgot about you. We know we got you on the back burner, but we will get you on the show. But right now, it's busy with tournaments. We got games almost every other night. So, like I said, big win the other night with Newcastle knocking off Bishop McGinnis. I thought that was going to be a game on a Monday night. But, hey, I started watching Monday Night Football. I watched Newcastle beat down Bishop McGinnis. But, Coach Carter, I know you get those girls right. But we'll catch you next time on Oklahoma High School Girls Between the Lines. See ya!
We'd like to thank the following sponsors: Above the Line Hoops, Prep Girl Hoops, Keep It 100, and for the latest in high school girls basketball action, check out the podcast on YouTube at Oklahoma High School Girls.